What is up, everybody? This is Eric, the one and only bear collector, and today I got a very special game that is very expensive to own. A game that, as of the making of this video, can run you a loose copy by itself, how I own it right now, can run you anywhere between $80 to $100. Now, complete can run you over $100 to $200. And that game is Vanguard Bandits for the PlayStation 1. This game was created by Working Designs back in the year 2000, and basically, it's a little bit scratched, but it works. Um, you know, yeah, it's not bad. But back to the game. The game was developed back in the year 2000 by Working Designs, and you play as the main character is Bastian with his father and his friends out to save the kingdom of Eptina, I believe. The pronunciation to these names are very hard. Eptina from different territories that are trying to gain power. One of the special things about this game is that you control armor suits called attacks or ATAC, which is a battle suit that they wear, kind of like a armored suit, and they go into battle. So the gameplay of the game is basically an isometric strategy RPG, very similar to Final Fantasy Tactics. And the game does offer different endings and different different choices when you go and play, about 20 missions in all. And it has a very interesting storyline. Now, going back to the game, so back in the days, again, like I've said it before, this is one of those games that I own an original copy of the game, complete with everything. However, as time went by, just like with many of my games during that era where I had to give up a lot of them, I lost track of it, and I just recently acquired a copy. Like I mentioned, the game has been going for about $100. About 80 to $100. I ended up getting a very cheap. I won a bid of it, and I got it for about probably half the price, about $40. I know I didn't spend a lot on it, and I was like really cool. I was happy with this one. But yeah, so like as you guys know, I'm trying to collect back all the Working Design games that I can get my hands on. For the PS1, I'm almost there, except a couple that are left, but those are worth a lot of money. But going back to this game, yes, this game is special. Now, I'm going to show you guys something that is very near and dear. Back in those days, when I had the game, I was a big fan of Working Designs. And one of the interesting things that I would do is I would send letters. I sent 2 letters to Working Designs. As you can see, my envelope right here. Yeah, you guys could probably see the zip code, but yeah, trying to cover my address, but it's not all there. Yeah, that's one. And then definitely I wrote the very first letter of 2, well, one of 2 letters, and I wrote to them, and as you can see, it was back in February 23 of 1999. Basically, if you guys want to read, you guys can pause it, and I'll go ahead and show you guys, signed by the Tika Spade, the customer service rep of Working Designs at that time, basically telling me that there's many games coming out. I don't even know what questions I gave him, but it looks like I gave him praise because I was a big fan of them. But one of the cool things in this right here, they mentioned Silver Star Story Lunar, that is going to be coming out, as well as Silhouette Mirage, which are games that I own. As you guys know, I've downloaded. I've done a video of Silhouette Mirage a long time ago. And another interesting thing that I wanted to show you guys, this wasn't included in the letter because they sent me 2 really neat posters. But before I show you guys the posters, I thought this was interesting because this was part of my pile that I had of the letters. A Funkoland new and used video games detailing when Lunar Silver Star Story was gonna come out. Estimated 5/28/1999, with explaining how they're gonna give you like packaging, special packaging of the game. So this is very interesting. The other thing, the posters that came with that one were this really neat Lunar poster, of Silver Star Story. I'll show you guys the detail. Very neat. Like a poster ad for disc collector edition with cloth map and soundtrack. Yep, and they sure did. I agree. And then the other one, Silhouette Mirage. Oh, I love this game. This is one of my favorite PS1 games. I actually own, if you guys see my video of Silhouette Mirage, I'll explain, or maybe I don't know, I can't remember if I did or if I didn't, but just a really quick note. I used to own the Sega Saturn version of Silhouette Mirage, the Japanese version, before it came out to the States, and I always hoped that they would make it. And when I got that, sorry guys, and when I got that letter of them making this game, I got really excited for it. Yes, and then the second letter. Now this one, the envelope is more intact. I will definitely try to cover my address. I don't want anybody... Well, it's not where I live, but still, this is more intact, my envelope. Very neat. Very cool, date stamped, back in those days. Postage was super cheap, not anymore. And then the second letter, the one that's interesting about this game. So basically right here, they explain, again, I guess I asked them about any upcoming games. They gave me the whole tidbit of Silhouette Mirage, and this was now in August of 1999. And then right here, there's a special note on the fourth quarter. Scheduled for release is the strategy RPG hybrid Detonator Gauntlet. You can see the story of the game Detonator Gauntlet. But and of course, Lunar 2. They announced Lunar 2 in the letter that they sent me. But as you guys can see, this is the interesting thing about this particular game, that it wasn't going to be called Vanguard Bandits. It was going to be called Detonator Gauntlet. But first, let me show you the poster of Lunar 2, Eternal Blue. Really neat poster for the second Lunar game, which I also own complete. And then here is Detonator Gauntlet. Interesting how they portrayed the game Detonator Gauntlet, but they changed at the last minute, they changed the name to Vanguard Bandits. Now, why is that? Well, I read that basically one of the reasons why they changed the name was because Detonator Gauntlet was sounding a lot like the game Gauntlet. And around that time, if you guys are familiar with Gauntlet, that's an arcade dungeon crawler RPG action game that came out many years ago, and it's a very popular series. And I believe that during that time they were releasing, I want to say that Gauntlet Legacy, or one of the maybe I'm wrong on the name, but one of the Gauntlet games that came out in PS1. So they decided not to name it Detonator Gauntlet, and instead they named it Vanguard Bandits. But yeah, that interesting thing about that, right? That the game was going to be named differently. But all in all, this is a very fun strategy RPG game. Believe it or not, I'm not a big fan of strategy RPGs, but there are a few. If either, to me, the games are hit or miss. If there's strategy RPGs, I'll be like, whatever. But if there's good ones, there's good ones. If there's bad ones, they're bad ones, in my opinion. So far, I've played several good ones. Final Fantasy Tactics was great. Sorry if I butcher the name. Jeanne d'Arc or Joan of Arc or Jeanne d'Arc for the PSP. Love that one. That's one of my favorites. And that's one that I'm planning on reviewing sooner or later. And that's a great game. But there's also other PS1 games and PS2 games as well. My girlfriend is a big fan of the strategy RPGs. So she's played a few too that we both agree that are really good. Like Rhapsody, a musical adventure. La Pucelle Tactics for the PS2. That's a great game. So yes. So anyways, this has been my review of the game. A really fun game. Now, is it worth the 100 plus? To me, it is, due to the nostalgic reason, due to the fact that it's a working designs game. But if you're a casual player of the game of games, not really into like the whole aspect of it, I would recommend that maybe you might want to just maybe emulate it, play it, and if you like it, you can get it. If not, then don't shell out the money, because it is an expensive game. Is it great? I think it's good. I don't think it's awesome like other tactical RPG games, but it's just, to me, it's part of the nostalgic and reasons, and being that I'm collecting all the working design games. But it's not a bad game. It's a really decent, really good story driven game with with different endings, however you choose. So anyways, hope you guys like the review of the game. Hope you guys enjoy the gameplay footage of the game. I truly apologize for the length of the video. It's just that being that it's a strategy RPG, those games move rather slow, and I didn't really want to use cheats, so I played it through and through. But anyways, you guys take care. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.